to these families.
Yeah, Don, and today First Lady Melania Trump made a surprise visit to the border facilities in McAllen, Texas. Take a look there. The First Lady getting a first-hand look at the crisis there affecting undocumented immigrant families. While at the center, Mrs. Trump thanked the doctors, medical staff, social workers, and other experts on hand. Don, let's listen to what she had to say.
I'm here to learn about your facility, and which I know you house children on a long-term basis. And I also like to ask you how I can help to these children to reunite with their families as quickly as possible.
The program director told the First Lady that the facility houses 58 unaccompanied migrant children.
Together is happening in downtown El Paso. That is where we find News Channel 9's Patrick Hayes. Patrick, what's happening out there?
That protest, it started about 30 minutes ago, and demonstrators say they're protesting the separation of families at the border. Demonstrators also say they're protesting the living conditions at these tent cities or detention centers, calling them a scary situation for any child. Now, one organizer I spoke with earlier today told me this is not a political issue, but rather a humane issue, and says keeping kids in these conditions is wrong.
No matter what your political ties may be or the party you follow might be, this is wrong. Every parent, every person who has a family knows that this is wrong. The system is broken, and it is hurting children, and it is hurting parents.
Like I mentioned, the group is trying to raise awareness, but they're urging people to make a donation to the El Paso Community Foundation's Migrant Families Relief Fund. I posted that information on our website, ktsm.com. That money raised there will be divided amongst 4 local nonprofits helping migrant families. Reporting live in downtown El Paso, Patrick Hayes, News Channel 9.
And like Patrick just said, many of the families are trying to escape instability and violence in countries like Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. Don.
NBC's Richard Engel continues our team coverage. He's in El Salvador with a report on why so many families make that long trek here to the United States.
We're now in San Salvador, the capital of El Salvador, a small Central American nation on the Pacific coast. And many of the migrants who've been heading toward the U.S. southern border come from here. And they are leaving this country because there is a gang war going on here, a war between 2 rival gangs, MS-13 and another gang called the 18th Street Gang. It is bitter, it is bloody. The gangs dominate life here. Tens of thousands of people are involved directly with the gangs. Hundreds of thousands of people are connected to gang activities, and those are according to government figures. The government is corrupt. It has been unable to contain the violence. Tens of thousands of people have been killed, and now there is a big concern. What will happen to the families in the United States, including families that have been separated, children from their parents, when they return here? Will they be deported? Will they come back alone? Will they be returned as families? There is a concern that they left because they were afraid for their lives, afraid that their children would be involved in the gangs, and they are equally concerned now what will happen if they are forced to return. Richard Engel, NBC News, San Salvador, El Salvador.
And count on KTSM to stay on top of this national story happening right here in our own backyard. We're going to bring you any developments, so make sure you stay with us on all of our social media platforms, including our website, ktsm.com. And that does it for me, live in Tornillo. I'll send it back to Natasha in the studio.
All right, Don, thank you for being out there today. And just hours ago, Border Patrol releasing dramatic video of agents saving a group of immigrants from drowning in a canal near downtown El Paso. Take a look at this. The water rescue happening Wednesday just after midnight when Border Patrol agents spotted a group of immigrants in the canal. 3 of them climbed out and ran back into Mexico. Investigators say a group of 4 was left behind. Those 4 were struggling to stay afloat, and that's when they say agents pulled them out to safety with rescue ropes. The 4 people, 3 men and 1 minor, were in good health. The men are now facing criminal prosecution while the minor will be sent back to Mexico.